Hello friends, Zevalar here, and welcome back to the Warframe playground. Now today, I got something a little more interesting in store here. I figured, you know, I've been doing a lot of the Coda weapons recently, so I figured why not take a little break from the Coda weapons? So we're going to look at a couple of the Scaldra weapons. And the first one that I want to show you is a primary gun, and it hits pretty stinking hard. Like honestly, it hits pretty stinking hard. Wait, I'm on the wrong road out here. So the gun we're looking at today is Purgator 1. Put them down so that they stay down with this Scaldra slug launcher. Now, if we take a moment here, excuse me, and look at the base stats on the bottom right. You can see, kind of compared to other primaries, like it's an alright magazine, not very high ammo. But when you look at the damage, this thing has a monstrous crit chance. Well, a pretty good crit chance, a pretty good crit multiplier, slightly, roughly average status chance, but when you look at the damage itself, 781 base damage. Okay? That's kind of a ridiculous amount. That's 781 base damage. And for comparison, we're going to take Rubico Prime. Rubico Prime has a base damage of 187. Wait, we legit just took Rubico Prime's base damage and flipped the numbers around. Alright, that's how much damage the Purgator 1 does. However, this is not a sniper rifle. So Purgator 1 is actually a little bit of a little interesting of a weapon, So we're just going to take a quick look at the build here. So, unique trait. Enemies killed by direct hit explode into lingering gas clouds. Okay? Basically, you shoot the gun, and if it kills an enemy, I guess it doesn't actually matter how the enemy dies. The enemy dies. Just, if you kill the enemy, they'll literally it'll just put up a giant dot zone. Well, okay, not giant, but it'll put up a dot zone. So, that dot zone will pulse for a few seconds, and then it'll go away. But the idea behind this build is just to pretty much just jack up the potential of the unique trait. So, to that end, we have a number of mods here. So we have critical delay for crit chance and vital sense for crit damage. This is just to increase the damage per shot of the gun. This isn't necessarily to influence, this isn't necessarily to influence the damage of the gas clouds that you get. I don't know if it does influence the gas clouds. I don't think it does, but I could be wrong. But what will influence the damage of the gas cloud, at least as far as I know, is going to be 1, primary acuity. So you get weak point damage and weak point crit chance. So primary acuity is just, it just increases your weak points, with the damage dealt by your weak points, pretty much. By your weak point shots. I don't exactly know how it interacts with status effects, but from what I've gathered, it can be affected. Like the damage you deal from a status effect can be influenced by acuity. So, so yeah. And for that matter, we kind of want acuity anyway, since the intent is to kill an enemy quick. Now, this part of the build is gonna it's a bit of a it's a bit weird, I'll say. Just like the previous build I showed, which I believe, I don't know, just like one of the previous builds I showed, this is kind of a weird setup. But I will explain it in a moment. So first off, we have Rifle Elementalist for status damage. So that increases the damage dealt by our gas status effects, which does influence the unique trait. But here's where I went a little off the wall again. So we have Hunter Track and Continuous Misery for plus 190% status duration. At first, these are again mods that you would almost never use in a practical scenario. So you're just going to be sitting here, you'll probably be sitting there thinking, why am I using status duration? And it's actually pretty simple. It's because of the unique trait. So I did a tiny bit of testing in the good old simulacrum, and from what I've gathered, the gas clouds that the unique trait spawns are influenced by status duration. So normally the gas cloud lasts like 6 seconds, but with Hunter Track and Continuous Misery, that thing is going to be sitting there pulsating just pretty high damage for almost 20 seconds. So, that really increases its area denial potential. And if an enemy walks into the dot zone, well, they're going to take a lot of damage. Finally, we have Primary Deadhead on Precision Headshot Kill. I believe that just means headshot kill while you're aiming down sights. You get increased damage, and by default, if you have Deadhead on, you get an increase in your headshot multiplier and reduced weapon recoil. I just want to show you guys that this is a zero forma build. Purgator 1 doesn't have any inherent mod polarities. Oh, good thing I caught this. Let's swap off of Terratron real quick. We do not need Terratron for this video. I will show Terratron, but. Okay. I did see a comment in one of my previous videos talking about my Kavat. I will show my Kavat and I will show my companions in the next video, I promise. Okay? I know I've been kind of putting it off with all the Coda weapons, and to be fair, the Coda weapons are fun to play with. But I have kind of been putting that off. So, I'm sorry. I will get to it. I will make sure to get to it soon. Anyways, without further ado, I've explained the whole premise of the build. Let's go in and play around with it a little. Yeah? Oh, by the way, new landing craft. This thing is tiny. Dude, I looked at the Parallax landing craft and I'm like, bro, what? Bro, is that an ant? Okay, so just for an example, we hit that guy and wow. Okay, so right out the gate, we're having no problems with damage. And as you can see, that pulsating, yeah, that's one of the gas effects. So, the idea is this. We just line up a headshot, and we land it. This gun is pretty much all about lining up the headshots. And then when you do land the headshot, you can see it does pretty good. But you do have to land the headshot. That's the major catch here. Yeah, you have to land the headshot, and enemies kind of have to walk into it, unless you shoot an enemy in the middle of a giant group. So yeah, I would kind of recommend a crowd control ability for this gun. Or just having crowd control statuses in general. You know, pop a few cold statuses or something like that. You know, or you know, be like me and use a sentinel. Use a sentinel with Hellstrom. Either way, you can see, you know, we just got to score the first kill, and then it just leaves a dot zone there. That does, look at that, 600,000 dot, man. It just, and that, well, and here's the great part, right? The better part. That dot zone, that thing is sitting there for 20 seconds, pulsing out 600,000 damage per tick. Hey, that is a lot of potential damage. Like, this thing is pretty mean, but you do have to line up the headshot. You do have to score the headshot. Or the precision shot. The precision kill. In order to really see its true power. I'm currently, you know, it actually kind of feels like the, yeah, I'm thinking about it now. This actually kind of feels like the Vesper 77 all over again. That was that's the first video I recorded on the research, and that gun was fun. But in a way, I feel like I've just improved on the. Oh my god! You just detonate instantly, man. All right, we let them come. Let them walk in. Right, look at that. Dot for 300,000. And no, I shot one dude. Okay? I know I keep on iterating on that, but I gotta make it clear. I shot one guy. And the shot is killing like 20 other dudes. Simply because of the dot field. Like, Purgator does not mess around, man. Anyway, I apologize about my inane ramblings regarding the Purgator one. I am enjoying this weapon right now. If you guys appreciate the Warframe research, feel free to like the video and sub to the page. It's free. You can undo it anytime if you no longer appreciate the research. But I gotta say, with videos like this, come on, how can you not appreciate it? Alright, so... Oh my... Dude, this is great. Look at that. 33,000 a tick on that heavily armored unit. Wait, okay. Ooh! Oh, look at that, a little bit of skill popped up there. It's true, guys. It's true, guys. I'm not beating the Overwatch player allegations. Okay, Acolyte. I'm a little curious to see how this goes, but my idea is we just set up a couple dot zones and let Anks walk around a little. Come over here. Oh my god. Look at that damage. Wait, she... Oh my god. Holy shit. Holy shit. Wow. Wow. That was beautiful. I'm kind of sort of actually at a loss for words. That was just beautiful. I don't know how else to say it. We've taken out the... Oh my god. Dude, oh my... Wow. I got nothing. Yeah, I got nothing. That was a great display. You know, I mean, not the greatest acolyte killer in the world, but I mean, you saw the footage just now. That was pretty good. Yeah, I think this gets a stamp of approval from me. Alright, the Purgator 1. Purgator 1. This gun gets a stamp of approval from me. Thank you guys for coming to this video. I would appreciate it. I appreciate you guys watching the video. I will see you guys around. Peace.